Okay, so I thought I'd gotten a couple of questions on the calculations from the Jaguar case study 4-1. I thought it might be a good idea to kind of step through all the calculations. So I just pulled up the book and a quick Excel spreadsheet here. So question 1 is, what is the capitalization ratio? So that if you go through the text, you can figure out that the capitalization ratio is the development cost that are capitalized divided back by the R&D spend. So it's the 1426, which is this 1426 right here, development cost capitalized, divided back by the 1794, which was the total of the R&D cost. So that means that Jaguar capitalized 79.5% of their R&D expense. And what does it mean by capitalized? Capitalized means that you take it out of the profit and loss statement and you amortize it over a useful life, similar to what you do a fixed asset. So that means their profit will be higher this period compared to other companies. So that's what it's trying to illustrate. So let's take a quick look at question number 2. So it's asking for the average balance in the capitalized product development cost account during the fiscal year 2017. So what it's asking for is just a simple average. So it's the beginning balance, the 4525, right? Plus the 5196 divided back by 2. So just a simple average, right? Now why that's key is they've asked you to calculate the useful life. So the average, the 4161, divided back by the amortization expense, 769. So this is how much expense is related to the capitalization of that research and development cost. So the average 4861 divided by 769 says the estimated useful life is about 6.32 years. So what that means is what you have on your balance sheet, which is the average, the 4861 divided back by your write-off rate, or your amortization, depreciation. That means that it's going to take you about 6.32 years to consume it, to basically make that asset zero. All right, let's take a look at question 3. This one confused some people. So I want you to think about this. This is a typical question that you would get on the CPA exam. And what it's doing is it's giving you a lot of data, a lot of data points, and it's trying to confuse you. Now, the topic or the concept here is you have an IFRS set of books, and you're trying to adjust that to get it back to generally accepted accounting principles. That's all we're trying to do. So try not to overthink it. All right. I don't know why that popped up. So let's look at each one of these. So we know that the profit before tax is 1,610 British pounds. Now, how are we going to adjust this to get it to generally accepted accounting principles? So inside this IFRS number, there's already 2 elements that's been expensed. There's this 368 here. So this 368 that's been expensed off. That wasn't capitalized, and there's also the amortization for the year. So already in this 1610 British pounds, there's 1,137 pounds that's already in that number. So they've already accounted for that. So we need to account for that as we go through these numbers, right? So we're going to take the 1610, right, minus the total 1794 R&D spend, and we've already accounted for 1137. So that's how we come up with the 953. Now the net profit after tax is the same calculation. You're just factoring in the tax rate of 21%, right? Shareholders' equity. So shareholders' equity, we take the IFRS shareholders' equity, which is the 6581, and we minus out 2156 and 2930, which is the book value, from the 6581 times the tax rate. Now that's where you normally make a mistake, is you forget about the tax rate, right? So don't forget about the tax rate. So operating cash flow is the 3160 minus the 1426, which is the development cost capitalized, and the same thing for the CapEx. The CapEx number is you accounted for 1,426 pounds in this 3056. To get it back to GAAP numbers, you would take that out. So you would minus out the 1426. So I hope this makes sense. If you have any additional questions, please reach out and let me know. Thank you. Have a good evening.